everyone, and welcome to the No Cat Space post-game show for the WNBA Commissioner's Cup. And just as everyone expected, the Indiana Fever just won by 15 without Caitlin Clark. Right? As everyone expected. Look, what a performance. What a performance from this Indiana Fever team. The physicality on defense, I loved it. Nafisa Collier had her second lowest scoring total for the entire season in this game. And that had a lot to do to me, to what the Indiana Fever were doing on defense. But before we dive into that, our friends at Home Field, down in the description below, use code NOCAT15 to get 15% off your first purchase. The No Cat Space collection is down in the description below. Our personally curated collection of some of the best college merch in the, not some of the best college merch in the game. Come on now. Let me lock in. Let me lock in. But look, I'm going to tell you right now, there's two players in particular that I am most impressed by in this game. And I think that the moment the Indiana Fever won this game was the moment that it was made available to them to go sign Aari McDonald. I love Aari McDonald. Look, if you're a new fan, welcome. If you don't know about Aari McDonald in Arizona, like, this might be a bit surprising. Again, not that she had like the most incredible, amazing game ever. 12 points, 5 of 6 shooting, only 1 assist, right? Had a couple blocks. Couple blocks? Goodness. Aari. Getting up there. Aari. Okay. But just in terms of the ability, obviously with Caitlin out, right? And that you have a different ask tonight when you have Caitlin out of this lineup. And her and Sid Colson essentially split the minutes, right? In that point guard position, like a little bit of overlap here and there, but like generally speaking. But the ability to keep the pace up with this Fever team and to get the defense off balance a little bit is just so important to me in what makes this Fever team successful. And I mean, look, I can't imagine. I don't have like the stat in front of me, but it doesn't feel like there's been many games this season where you have 5 Fever players in double figures. And that's what you get tonight, right? Sophie Cunningham, finally, welcome to scoring the ball. This is what you're supposed to do. 13 points, 4 assists, right? It wasn't the star player tonight, and in a way that we've seen, whether it be even like the two-headed monster of Aaliyah and Kelsey, like we saw against the Wings. Like, it's not that tonight. And that's a new way to me of the Indiana Fever winning a basketball game in the 2025 season. And I think that's incredibly important, right? And to me, I think Aari was just a massive piece in allowing that, even if it's not always on the box score. The pace that she provides and just having that different gear is so important. But I think, to me, the most important player in this game is the player who won Commissioner's Cup MVP, Natasha Howard. Obviously, playing defense on fee for several points in this game, but ends up with 16 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 6 turnovers, which but 4-10 shooting. Again, I said it after on the postgame show, right? From American Airlines Center in Dallas when I was there, boots on the ground for Fever Wings. That version of Tosh Howard shows up with Caitlin Clark, and this Fever team gets a whole lot different. This Fever team gets a whole lot better. And frankly, with DeWanna Bonner departing, you're going to probably need that level of consistency just because you don't have like 2 players making that up now, right? Like you're going to have to, I think it's a different mold of team, and we're slowly, again, you can only get so much of a taste of it without Caitlin there. But again, like I enjoyed several parts of this game where you're just picking up the pace a little bit. Like, I like that. I think that's when this team can play their best basketball. Aaliyah Boston, Shawnee isn't here, but I promise you she'd be saying, we're getting close to that Aaliyah Boston triple-double, right? What is it, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists? We're coming. It's coming. That triple-double is on the way for AB. Again, not her most like dominant scoring game, but didn't have to be. Didn't have to be tonight. And I think that's so important that you're having games like this, just in general, where you don't need a 20-plus point performer. Right? Obviously, you're never going to be against having that, right? But like tonight, you were able to get it done by committee. And again, I just don't think that's something you could say about the Indiana Fever very often. In terms of Minnesota, that's what they lacked. Like, I mean, you had Atlanta Smith with 15 leading the way. That's not normal, right? Like, this is the team that normally has the 5 players in double figures. You only end up with 3, and Nafisa only has 12 points. Like, I mean, just it looked like Minnesota was completely rocked off their game. It was a tough Courtney Williams game as well. 4-14, 6 turnovers, 11 total points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Just one of those games of Courtney Williams, right? And Natasha Heineman got hurt as well, right? And so, like, you didn't have it wasn't the best game from her either. Like, even just in the total minutes as a whole. Only 16 of those, but to me, I'm so incredibly impressed by a Fever team that, like, not to oversimplify it felt like wanted it more, right? And with everything that goes on with the Fever, right? Some of it completely out of the Fever's control. Some of it I feel like a bit self-inflicted. But with everything going on, it's nice just to get a win. Like, there's always something with Indiana. Like, today was the Sophie comments, right, about Cleveland and Detroit. There's always something going on with the Indiana Fever. And again, sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's not. Like, it's just nice to get a win. And against a team like Minnesota, that this is the best team in the league. This is the best team in the league right now. And you went out without Caitlin Clark and just forced your will onto this team to go and win this game. Like, in terms of a taking off point, in terms of the momentum you want to have as Caitlin hopefully comes back soon, right? I mean, it seems certainly sooner rather than later. This is the type of win that can genuinely change a season. I will say, though, hold on, I got it here. I will say the Lynx might have the script. The past 2 seasons, the team who lost in the Commissioner's Cup ended up beating the team they lost to in the WNBA Finals. The Liberty beat the Aces in 23, and the Aces beat them in the WNBA Finals, and reverse here with Minnesota and New York. I mean, I don't know. First off, I don't know if many Indiana fans could take another finals. Why am I so backwards? Another finals loss. I don't know if they could take it, but if Minnesota has the script, we're starting a conspiracy. Okay, we're if this happens again, we're starting a conspiracy. But ultimately, jokes aside, all seriousness, hell of a win for Indiana. And to me, again, the biggest takeaway is Natasha Howard and what this could be going forward once you get Caitlin Clark back. If this Natasha Howard continues to show up, and again, you're not asking the world from her, right? You're not asking the world. But if you get this from Natasha Howard, that is game changing. This is she can kind of become, I think, what everyone had kind of pegged Dawana as, as the player that has done it before, has won the awards, has reached the mountaintop. Natasha Howard's done all those things too. And if you're getting this level of impact from her, she slides right into being that player. And so the loss of Dawana Bonner in terms of the more maybe quote unquote off court stuff of having a player that's been there before, you don't really lose much on that. And you add Erin McDonald. In a very odd roundabout way, the Indiana Fever are on the up. And I'm very, very excited and hopeful that we get a healthy Caitlin Clark to watch with this team. Obviously, it's been a roller coaster of a season for Caitlin with the injuries and everything. So I'm hoping she gets back to playing like herself, out of the slump and healthy. And this becomes the archetype for the Indiana Fever. Because this was, again, not like the cleanest game ever, but a fun one to watch and an impressive one from a team win perspective for Indiana. But let me know what you think. What is your takeaway going forward with both these teams? Again, I'm not worried about Minnesota in this game. It just felt like they got kind of knocked off pace after Indiana made that initial comeback and just kind of couldn't get back on. I'm not worried about them in the long term. I am impressed for Indiana, though. So let me know what you think down below in the comments about both these teams. What is the trajectory? What are you looking forward to next? And what are your biggest takeaways from this game as the Indiana Fever become your Commissioner Cup champions? Thank you guys. Also, by the way, 4,000 subscribers here on the YouTube is massive. So shout out to y'all. Thank you so much for your support. Your support allows us to keep covering, trying to go travel the games and everything. Also, nocatspacewbb.com for our free subscribers, for our paid subscribers with the additional content on there. All of our print and podcast content is all there. You can find everything down below in the description. So make sure you're tapped in across the board on socials, on the website, and here on YouTube with No Cap Space. And I'll see you next time.